of the vast cultural diversity that we have. And that diversity is not just a fact. Right here in Milwaukee County, I like to tell folks our diversity is our strength. It's what makes our community even more dynamic, more vibrant, and ultimately both healthier and safer and stronger. But right here in Milwaukee, many may not know, but our AAPI story has some very deep roots. In 1880, the U.S. Census recorded our first 2 Chinese residents in the county, but it took several generations for Asian Americans to establish an even stronger community. Asian Americans faced generational exclusionary policies and systemic barriers, from the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 to restrictive immigration laws that persisted well into the 20th century. But it wasn't until race-based immigration laws were finally lifted that we began to see the growth of a vibrant, multi-generational AAPI community. And today, Asian Americans account for nearly 5% of our population right here within Milwaukee County. And this year's theme, the national theme for AAPI Heritage Month, is a legacy of leadership and resilience. I'm going to repeat that. A legacy of leadership and of resilience. And this is so we can continue to honor the hard work of our AAPI leaders who established a foundation for future generations to not only thrive, but to adapt to the change and the adversity that folks may see. And so we see that legacy alive today, particularly in organizations like the Wisconsin Chinese Chamber of Commerce, like the Hmong Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce, and countless other powerful voices, strong leaders, and dedicated community members leading the charge for our AAPI community. But as we celebrate progress, we must also recommit ourselves to doing even more every single day, especially during a time where we see an increase in racism, an increase in violence and hate, particularly aimed at Asian Americans, Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander communities. So we have to reaffirm our commitment to not only fighting discrimination, but fighting against racism and hate in all forms. And we all must recommit to that. And so this month is not just about celebrating the contributions of our AAPI community, but also about creating a safe, open, and welcoming space for our AAPI voices to not only be heard, but so they're valued every single day. And so last year, Wisconsin took a meaningful step when Governor Tony Evers signed bipartisan legislation requiring Hmong American and Asian American history to be taught in Wisconsin schools. Now, this kind of policy, absolutely, that's something we should celebrate. But this kind of policy is not just symbolic. It's a declaration that every student deserves to see themselves reflected in the stories that we tell, and not just about our past, but also about our present. And so this year, we are witnessing another historical moment when the Wisconsin State Assembly leaders formed its very first legislative Asian caucus. That's huge. And this is a powerful step to making sure that more represented leadership is not only in the state capitol, but that it reflects the great diversity that is in our community every single day throughout our entire state. And so yes, this month, we absolutely celebrate. We not only celebrate, but we celebrate the heritage and we celebrate the progress. But as we also look ahead, we should also look ahead with hope, with purpose, and with an unwavering commitment to equity. And so I look forward to continuing to walk alongside our AAPI community, and not just in May. I'm talking about every single month of the year as we build Milwaukee County where everyone has the opportunity to live, work, and play, but more importantly, thrive. And so I do want to say thank you to Dr. Macy Herb, Ziming Wu, and all of tonight's organizers for inviting me to celebrate with you all and for your continued leadership and partnership. I like to joke. I don't know how many people in here have seen Toy Story, but there's a song in Toy Story that says, "You have a friend in me." You have a friend, and I am your Randy Newman. You have a friend in me. So happy AAPI Heritage Month to all of you. Let's continue to honor the past, uplift our present, share and invest in our future together. Thank you all so much.